Okay, we're going to just briefly go back over the two kinds of problems in lesson 100, graphs of parabolas. So, what we're going to do is we're going to remember what our little shortcut here means. Okay, so after you complete the square, whatever is right here, it's going to be the opposite sign. That's your x value. And here is going to be your y value. And this is the axis of symmetry, which is also the vertex of your parabola. So when you're graphing, get a coordinate plane. So when you're graphing using this, you know some things about it just by looking at it, okay? So we know that we can graph -4. So -4 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 up, 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be the vertex of our parabola. This one's opening downward because it's got a negative, right? So, and we know I don't have the y-intercept for this. This is just the example that uses this. But say that the y-intercept was 1. We could put that right there. And then we know that our curve is going to go through that. And you see that this is the axis of symmetry. So this is the dotted line, right? So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the right. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the left. And that's going to be our other point. And that's how we would graph it. So let's look at one of the problems that was in the lesson and redo it. Let's actually go to the practice problems. We'll do both the practice problems together real quick. So y equals x squared minus 2x plus 3. Okay, we're going to take this function and we're going to use completing the square in order to solve. Okay, so we take our middle term, which is 2. We divide it in 2. That gives us 1. 1 times 1 is also 1. So our half term is 1. And our square is also 1. Okay, we're going to add the square to both sides. So I'm going to rewrite that. X squared minus 2x plus 1. I'm going to add my plus 3 here. And so I've added it to this side. I know I just said add to both sides, but we're going to add it to this side and we're going to subtract it from here because we're going to subtract it from here because we don't want to change the value of the expression. Okay, now that first part is always going to factor 2x, whatever the sign is, and the half term squared. Add these together, so that's going to be 2. Okay. Now we're going to use this as our x value for the axis of symmetry using the opposite sign. So it's negative here, so it's going to be a positive 1. This is going to keep the sign, so this is just going to be 2. Right, now we're going to graph this. This parabola is going to open upward because it's positive. So, and we're given that this is the y-intercept plus 3. So we know that's one of the points. So 1, 2, 3, that's 1 point on the parabola. The vertex is 1, 2. So 1, 1, 2. So this is our axis of symmetry. So that means our other point is going to be right here. And that's our parabola. Okay, so that's the first practice problem A on number 418. on page 418, practice problem A. Okay. Now let's go on and do practice problem B on 418, which is y equals a negative x squared minus 4x minus 3. Okay. Same thing, except for this time we're going to pull that negative out and change the signs. So this will be x squared plus 4x plus 3. Middle term, divide by 2, multiply by square it. So the half term is 2, the square is 4. I'm going to add 4 to one side, and then I'm going to subtract it from this side. Okay, this is going to factor 2x plus the half squared, and I'm going to add these together. That's going to be negative 1. Right, now I have to take my negative and distribute it back over on this side. So this is going to be the opposite of the quantity of x plus 2 squared plus 1. All right, now our ordered pair is going to be a negative 2 because we're going to use the opposite sign, comma, use the sign 1, okay? And then we're going to graph. And that's the vertex. This opens downward because it's got a negative, it's a negative, right? And our y-intercept is a negative 3. So that's where it's going to go through on the coordinate plane. So 1, 2, 3. So here's our axis of symmetry. And so this is 2 places over, so it's going to go right through here. All right. Hope that helps.